Hello, hello, everybody, and welcome to Technically Trek. I am your host, Dave Prime Hildebrand, and over yonder there is our witchy Captain Katie. How is it going with you today, my dear?
Well, obviously, I was playing the air violin. Yeah, I kind of cut off a little earlier than I expected, but I was kind of in the zone.
So the new theme's growing on you. It looks like.
Yeah, I've kind of found a rhythm with it now. I mean, I was playing the air drums. Not that I heard any drums in it, but still, I was playing the air drums, and then obviously, as people might have seen, I was playing the air violin.
Hello, Jeff.
Oh, hi, Jeff. But no, I'm alive. I am quite happy, although I nearly completely missed the show because I thought it was Tuesday today and not Wednesday. So I don't call myself a Dixie Witch for nothing.
But that's a good reminder to say, because next Wednesday is my birthday, I mean, Christmas, let's say we're going to do the finale episode, The New Next Generation, on Monday at 5 o'clock. So that's what, the 22nd? Or the 23rd? 23rd at 5 p.m.
Yes.
Yes. Because, I mean, I, for one, am going to be having I forget what they called it. It's like Christmas Kwanzaa. That's not the word, but the AA group that I'm affiliated with, we're going to have like an all-encompassing, recognize all the holidays all in one fell swoop with.
As long as you don't forget you.
Oh, exactly. And talking to my sponsor last night, he thought I was joking that my birthday is on the 25th, and I was like, no, it really is. I almost showed him my ID. He said, yes, my birthday is the 25th of December.
That's just greedy.
Yeah, I mean, even my parents forget sometimes, which is weird.
Even though I sent you a Christmas card along with everybody else, I actually forgot to send you a birthday card along with it. I forgot to wish you a happy birthday in it.
Oh, but, it happens.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really celebrate Christmas. I mean, I don't even own Christmas decorations. I don't even own one piece of tinsel.
See, I got decorations.
Yeah, I don't own fairy lights or anything, although I do need fairy lights for my bookcases. I really do, because, they're pretty and they're sparkly and I like them, and it's the one girly thing that I do like. But yeah, I don't really do Christmas. I mainly celebrate the solstice, which is in 3 days.
Days are going to start getting longer. Yay!
Yes, the only thing I don't like about winter solstice is that it's the mark of days getting longer, so there's more daylight. I don't like that because I'm almost permanently light sensitive. This kills me. But it's one of those things. It's the wheel of the year. And, I have to put up with the light in order to receive the darkness. So,
yeah, but we did have a good guest recently on Dangerous Thoughts, Micah Dank, that really went deep into stuff like that. So if you guys haven't had a chance to watch it, go to dangerousthoughts.show and watch those Micah Dank episodes. That's really enlightening. I learned a lot more watching those episodes than I ever did in Sunday school growing up.
Oh yeah, my mum actually watched it. She didn't watch it live because no sane person around here is awake at like 1-2 a.m. in the morning. But my mum actually watched it the day after, and she found it fascinating. I mean, don't get me wrong, she does watch a lot of Dangerous Thoughts, but she often forgets because she's got so much else going on. But I always remind her, and she really did find the episode very intriguing.
Yay! So speaking of intriguing episodes, Fissure Quest. Oh my! We're only a few hours away from the last episode ever, which kind of irks me. So I'm hoping that the campaign goes on, so maybe Netflix will pick that up too. So the Netflix will be the animated home of Star Trek.
It all depends how this ends, because if it ends really well, then I don't see the need to carry it on. I mean, I always saw the need to carry Enterprise on because, I mean, I was really pissed off with that ending. But if it ends well and it's nice and rounded, then I don't see why it should carry on. I'm always up for more new Trek, but sometimes if something ends well, even if it's left open for more, if it ends well, I don't see that it should be messed with.
Well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see how that goes on. But one thing I wrote on right towards the top of my notes is just this past episode, Mike McMahon succeeded where Rick Berman failed. And I say this was like a huge Valentine to the fans. When someone knows what the heck they're doing with it, they do well. I mean, we had some freaking insane cameos in this episode that at first I was like, what? That is that Curzon? Is that DePaul? Is that Lily Sloan? What the what?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, and then we get Garrick and Bashir locking the lips.
oh, I'm sorry, but when I saw that they were there and their relationship, I melted.
Oh,
I
they
like
they
literally, I slithered down my pillows because I melted so much. I absolutely adore those two, and their relationship has always been more than just friendship. I don't care what anybody says. You know, I adore that they brought that into Lower Decks. I mean, as soon as Lily turned up, I know exactly who she was. I recognized her voice. And I'm just like, oh my freaking god, it's Lily. Because you mean everybody knows by now that First Contact is my that's what made me fall in love with Trek. And I watch that movie every single year on my birthday because I share my birthday with First Contact Day. So that's a ritual that I have. And so I recognized her voice and I'm just like, oh, holy crap, what the hell is going on with this episode?
Yeah, but say Travis has been waiting in the wings, so I'm going to go ahead and bring him into the chat. How's it going, Travis?
Jolene, Jolene.
Yeah, that.
You know,
Not,
just reiterate all that you just said about the cameos. For them to literally, because Jolene Blaylock, who plays to Paul,
mhm.
has, there was some issues with her, about some stuff going on at the end of the run of Star Trek Enterprise
Emperor.
and stuff,
Mhm.
and stuff, and no one thought to see her back because it was kind of like said that she kind of had some cold feelings towards the people in Star Trek and everything else.
Mhm.
I can't remember the quote that was said, but she kind of felt like, from what I understand, I'm just paraphrasing everybody, so please don't judge me and everything, that she said something on the line of like something about tits and ass or something, about like that's her character. She the character is more than just like tits and ass and stuff and everything, but she hasn't been really seen at conventions or anything like that for a good long while. For her to come back in such a way, well, it's mind blowing, because Jolene is a beloved actor who we all like, and everybody in the Star Trek universe, adores her. Not, I'm saying everybody, but people adore her and stuff and everything. Um, to Paul, bring it to Paul, like you said, everything literally was such a mind blowing with this episode that I was watching. Was that Trek? Trek? Oh shoot, Dave, help me out. Um,
Strange New Pod.
No, Sean Farring,
Oh, Trick Culture.
Trek Culture. I was watching that, and he mentioned about because y'all mentioned Garrick and Bashir. In the beginning, it I think it was uh, it was Andrew Roberts, kind of his own little idea to put a spin on how Garrick's flamboyant like nature towards Bashir was. And the producers now told him he got to, direct producer now told him he got to kind of tone it down because he said that he wanted his character to basically want to do Dr. Bashir. He just wanted to have sex with him, and he just wanted that, he implied that there is something that I just caught that I didn't realize, but Andrew Roberts and Alexander Saad, whatever his name is and stuff,
Did
they actually reprised but it was like a round table talking thing where they reprised their roles as their characters, and it is so good. It was during COVID. I'm gonna have to send y'all guys the link and stuff, but the way they talk to each other, it is absolutely mind blowing. It's like, are you serious? Because I know there was a thing where Spock and Q, like Leonard Nimoy and John Delancey, they reprised her, and they was like, on a not a sound stage and everything, but they were sitting there, and it was just so great watching them do such a thing. But oh my God, did they really take it to heart when it came to, basically everybody knows it's like Garrick just wanted to have sex with Bashir, and that's what his intention through the whole Star Trek Deep Space Nine, franchise thing. Yes, yes, that's right, Dave. That's right. It was so mind blowing to bring characters that we seen, and the actors came back. That's the thing. The actors themselves reprised their roles and stuff. And Katie, you mentioned Alfred Witter, who's the actress who plays Lily Sloan.
Yeah.
Uh, to get her to come back too, that was that was icing on the cake and everything else. But it's just like I cannot say much more. That we were just all dumbfounded at just how many cameos, of course, across the multiverse, and everything, and it just made all of our hearts just, we giggled, we laughed, and we just was like in shock and awe. And then all the Harry Kims that was still incense, and that one Harry Kim that just had to be the dick. He
Yup.
just had to be the dick. Just had to be
Well, it has to
the.
be a Harry Kim that was the dick of the episode. I'm sorry, but but also it was so lovely to see him finally die. I mean, I'm sorry, but I've been waiting that for years. I've been waiting for that for years. There is literally about like maybe an hour's worth of Voyager throughout all 7 seasons where I actually liked Harry, and the rest of the time I did not like him. And it was so, I actually cheered and clapped, and I was bouncing up and down on my bed. It was like a proper gay cheer, I was like, and I was just like, yeah, and yeah,
Oh.
it was like I was bouncing up and down on my bed where I sit right now, and it was just, oh, it was a blissful episode. It's like my favorite episode of Lower Decks ever.
He just kind of went off the being there. It's like, okay, Harry, you just kind of, well, I should say Lieutenant Harry just kind of had a mental breakdown.
Say, I'm Harry fucking Kim. It's gone.
Yeah.
It's like,
But I mean, the amount that went on in this episode, it is like my favorite episode of Lower Decks so far, because we got to see a bit more of Curzon. We got to see T'Pol again and find out that Aaron and Trip were together for like 63 years.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I was just like, oh, my heart melted with that as well, because I always loved them. And then seeing Lily as well. And as well, I mean, the highlight of it for me was the banter between Garak and Bashir.
They were squabbling like an old married couple.
I mean, when Bashir was giving him that little shoulder rub, and then it just all went tits up, and it kind of started a little argument, and then Bashir just like turned himself off. You know, I was laughing so much at that, because that was just like, you know, that is how I imagine their relationship to be if they got together. And it was just like, it was my favorite episode. Although one thing that spoiled it for me was the beard. It really needs to go now. I'm sorry, it really does.
Well, what about Section 31 Boimler? Is his beard a little better? Or?
Now the stubble, that kind of suited him, but you know, it was just like a slight shadow, so that wasn't so bad. It kind of suited him, but the beard, like full beard Boimler, that was just like, no, please, like before this ends, please shave all the fuzz off. You know, I mean, it's just weird seeing him with facial scruff. You know, I mean, that'd be like seeing Travis with your beard. You know, it'd just be like, no, hell no. You know, no, but it. I really do love this episode, and I will actually probably watch it again before I watch the final episode. But I'm sure I've said on a show before, or when we've been talking about it, like backstage or whatever, I'm sure I've said it won't surprise me if it's the Federation that's caused this. Or something to that effect. I'm sure I've said something like that before.
And you know, the fact that it wasn't no malice intent. It was no malice intent and everything else. It turned out to be just a bunch of human beings that was exploring. They created something other than warp drive. They created a quantum or some sort of quantum drive, almost something that literally out of Stargate Atlantis. There was a Stargate Atlantis episode that was almost like the same thing. You know, I was like, oh my god, the parallel, you know, and stuff. I mean, you know, not a quantum drive.
Quantum reality drive.
A quantum reality drive, you know, and stuff. I mean, you jump from different, you know, versions of, you know, reality and stuff. Some slightly different, some way different, but wow, you know. And then just seeing it, I'm glad they did the whole like Mariner, the Mariner that came out of a different universe was a lieutenant, wasn't she? And she was
she was still an ensign.
Oh, she was still ensign, but okay, she was an engineer. She was an engineer. You know, she was an engineer, and she just casually just said that she has the way of just tracking, you know, the fissures. And Boiler was like, well, Captain Boiler was like, what? You just throw that and everything else. You know how to track them and stuff. And then I love the whole way of getting them to, you know, bait them to come to them and stuff. And the little scientific thing. And let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. The name of this ship that Boiler's on.
Mm-hmm.
Did y'all know that it is actually the name of an ancient Greek philosopher?
Well, I learned that watching Strange New Pod, or I think it was either Strange New Pod or Trek Culture. I forget.
I remember hearing about that name as far back when I was in early high school. It was like more than, it was about 30 years ago, the first time I ever heard that name. And then when I heard it, I just shook my head. I was like, they did not just use that name. That's I was like, that's a mouthful right there. You know, that's a really big mouthful. And then what to me, like the whole technical thing, I love this. I love the take on it because I don't know if anybody really paid attention in the whole Deep Space Nine, Voyager, and some other things. But I'm a tech. I love the schematics and tech stuff, and I'll pay close attention to stuff like that. So when Deep Space Nine came out in the third season, and I started to observe, and I had like, back then I forgot what I had that showed like the master display. There's master display on ships and stuff and everything. It shows you like some of the interior, the different decks and stuff and everything. On a Defiant, they had landing struts. The Defiant itself had landing struts before Voyager came out in 1995. Defiant came out in 1994 in the fall. And I was kind of curious. I didn't know what they were, so I just kind of, brushed it off. But then I started putting two and two together, and I was like, wait. The Defiant has landing gears, and Voyager has landing gear, but Voyager is the first ship we ever seen starship that can land.
Yeah.
Then I started to observe other starships. Let me give you another. The Enterprise E. The Enterprise E has landing gears. I cannot believe it. It did. The Enterprise E has some landing gears. I'm like, the Enterprise E can land. They had landing struts. And in the Voyager episode, there was the experimental prototype Prometheus for Deep Space Tactical Assignment. She had landing struts. So I was just kind of like, okay, I'm taking back now. So we got starships besides the Intrepid class that can land on the surface of a body. So that right there, that's a whole little tech thing that really was like, oh, okay, they really add this to canon, because I seen it like, on the master displays of the Defiant class, but I never thought that they was going to actually land a Defiant class ship. And it was pretty interesting to see that.
I thought that I was like making things up in my head about the Enterprise E having landing gear, because I always thought that it did, and then I'm just like, no, that those ships don't have landing gear. And I thought I was just always making that up in my head as a nice fantasy,
Yeah. That's what I thought until I seen the episode. I was just like, oh, wow. This ship really landed. Just like, what's it called? The Beagle? Was it the Beagle?
The Beagle, yeah.
The Beagle, I was just like, okay.
Which I think is a little Archer thing going there.
It did too. Inside the Beagle looked just like the NX-01. You just notice the bridge looked like the NX-01.
Mm-hmm.
That was such a good homage to the the NX-01 that we are used to and stuff. But
I love the NX-01, and I love the fact that ship was called the Beagle as well, because like Porthos is one of my favorite Trek characters. I know that sounds really stupid, but Porthos and Spot, they are legends, and they're in my like top 10 Star Trek characters. So, yeah, that was a nice little thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Everything about this episode just made all of us just. It may. I know we could all say everything that we can about it, but like it really, like I heard y'all earlier say, the cameos what did it in for all of us, because not only did they bring back the characters, but they bring back the actors that were the characters in the live action and stuff.
Other than Curzon, which was done by Fred.
Let's talk about Curzon. Whoa, man, this guy, he was he was something else, Boy, oh boy, he was a quick trigger happy, trail.
Yeah, that's how it was always described. It was described as being grumpy, which we definitely saw in this. It was impulsive. He did a lot with the Klingons.
Yeah, because he's wearing that the Blood Oath uniform throughout the episode.
So I think it was like a really, really lovely like tribute to Curzon, you know, because even though you hear a lot about him, we've never seen a lot of him.
Yeah.
You know, so being able to see like a full 30 minutes worth of Curzon, that was just beautiful. And it encapsulated everything we've heard about him.
Him and T'Pol interacting, you know, that right there too. And she saved the memories of the symbiote. You know, that's what it's like. You could tell T'Pol cared about him, but you know, it's just like it's T'Pol. But you know, it just like you know, T'Lyn. You know, even Vulcans like that can be cold shoulder if we see, but yet, you know, if we see through it, you know, they can be soft hearted.
Yeah.
But
Zach, you had to go there, didn't you, love? I love that guy.
Yeah, such a good episode. And then too, I knew it's gonna most likely have to be a two-parter because I was like, this they're not really, you know, ending it like this, are they? I'm like, no, they can't end it like this because there's no, you know, big homage or something, you know, just something that just makes you think could just make you, you know, just like hopefully there could be open for more of them in the future. You know, something that you know they don't leave. Just like how the ending of Star Trek Picard season 3, when we got Q. You know, it's like no freaking way. Q, talk about Jack Crusher. This is your trial. Like what?
No, I hope that there's going to be a couple more cameos in the season finale.
Me too.
There has to be.
I'm hoping for a couple, to be honest, because I think it's the only way to ever get them back to Trek. I'm actually hoping for Cisco to make an appearance.
Avery Brooks.
That would be huge.
I mean, I am really hoping that. I mean, it's highly unlikely. It really is, but it
would be a
nice.
chef's kiss for McMahon.
I think it'd be really good for the fans. And as much as I don't like Cisco, you know, I like him better than Kirk. But you know, I think that'd be a good cameo. But at the same time, I don't think it'd happen.
You speaking about Cisco, you know, I hate to say this, but and this is just me being a, you know, fanboy and all. I'm not sure. I don't know how it's going to be written and everything, but Kirk, Picard, Cisco, and Janeway all together. I mean, if season finale something like that, you get these, you get you get them. I mean, if you get Avery Brooks back to voice over him once again, or something, you know, because Avery is a beloved actor. He's not been in. I don't think he's been acting for a long while. Not
he
since
hasn't. No.
since after you know Deep Space Nine in 1999. You know, but he people still beloved him and stuff and everything else, you know. But if they could get these 4 captains, or hey, let me say this, what's that? Jonathan Archer, because what's his face?
Scott Bakula.
He's still around. You know, I mean, it's like, you know, I'm just being a fanboy. don't anybody quote me or anything else, but like if somehow this whole quantum thing, and they just get all these captains from because we already seen they got
The thing
T'Pol and
is that
everybody, but
Yeah, and how
all
the
the
how
fissures now, and there's only that one that's basically that there's only one that's affecting a reality. So if they've closed all of the fissures to save the multiverse, then I don't know how that would work if they did get all the captains together, because I mean that would be epic, and that I think that'd be the only time I'd be happy to see Kirk. In all honesty, is to see how he handles Janeway. To be quite honest, because I know that he breaks down for all this shit.
no, but no, Zach was hoping Data would appear. Data was just a couple episodes ago. He was
he was blue or
purple.
Purple. Purple. I hope the carpet matches the hall. Was that joke? Oh boy. No,
Yeah,
boy.
Don't mind me. It's say my lamp showed up a day late.
But no, I'm very much looking forward to the next episode. Is the next episode going to be like another 30 minutes, or is it going to be an extended episode?
I don't know. It would be nice if it's a longer episode, but they haven't done it in the past when it came to stuff like that. And again, when this was put in the can, they didn't know this was going to be the last season.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, wow. Man, oh man, so much to talk about when it comes to just this particular episode. I mean,
there's no information.
No.
Right, they're probably keeping it as
there's
close
no
to the chest
information at all.
It drops in the morning time, doesn't it, Dave?
Yeah, it's probably going to drop early, like the last couple episodes have.
I wish I could watch it, but I have to be asleep and be up in early as usual and stuff for my last day.
Yeah, Tyson's off work until next year, so I'm kind of surprised he's not here yet.
Oh, well.
Although I've just had a look on IMDb to see if there's the like the length of the episode, and I had a look at the cast. Now there's only 10 cast members listed. They're probably if there's any cameos, they're probably holding that off until the episode's released. But Sam Whitworth is in it.
Yeah, Ma'a and is going to be in the episode again.
Yeah, who's he?
The Klingons.
Yeah, I was just going to say, is he one of the Klingons? Because it does say that from something that I've seen, it said that there was going to be Klingons in the next episode.
Ma'a and his brother both going to be in the episode.
Okay.
Maylor.
Maylor. Thank you.
Yeah, that's who Sam Whitworth plays. But I mean, I absolutely love him. I mean, I remember him mainly from Smallville and Supergirl.
What was the actor's name?
Sam Whitworth. In Smallville, he played Doomsday, and in Supergirl, he played Agent Liberty.
Yes, I know you talk about now. Okay.
Yeah, but I love him as an actor. I really can't wait. I'm wondering, like, with the Klingons being involved again, I'm wondering if maybe Worf might make an appearance.
Ooh.
Make what?
Worf.
I'm wondering if Worf might make an appearance.
That would be that would be icing on the cake. For Michael Dorn to reappear, absolutely.
Well, LaForge would be a good cameo.
I mean, there'll be a lot of good cameos. I mean, the people that we all come to know, the actors, or not actors, but the characters and stuff. Any other characters that have, that we could just think of that was just. I mean, look how many cameos that dropped in season 3. Oh my goodness!
Now that would be a way to end the freaking series, wouldn't it? Trek orgy.
Do y'all remember that one episode where Boimler was spread eagle?
Oh,
was that
Oh my god,
oh,
Travis is broken.
no? I think it was a simulation. Was it a simulation that Mariner was in, and she saw Boimler spread eagle?
yeah.
They
Oh.
was all naked. They was all naked in the. Oh my!
Boimler has got such a girly scream. You know, I mean, I think his scream's girlier than mine.
He didn't scream that loud when that lightning bolt went up his behind.
No, he just passed out from the shock. Literally.
I mean, what a way to end an episode. Boimler screaming and like, we're all gonna die.
I know, he
And-
just started screaming, we're all gonna die. And it's just like, it did cut away. I'm like, oh, that's how they're gonna do it. Okay, I like that, you know. He just screamed, just, what's that, Jack Quaid? Jack
Yep.
Quaid could, Jack Quaid is something else.
I need to watch that crossover of Strange New Worlds again because
Yes.
I love that.
And just for that particular episode, they literally made their costumes for them. Just for them.
Yeah.
You know, they actually did a live action, and they, you know, because it's like, man, let's just put something kind of together, stuff like that. No, they really, the costume designers really took it to heart that, you know.
They were on their A game.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Jack Quaid even dyed his hair purple. I just found that so, because a lot of people thought it was just the hairspray, but it wasn't. He actually coloured his hair purple.
Yes, he did.
It was actually a permanent dye.
Oh my!
It wasn't a temporary. This is what I've heard anyway. Apparently, it was a permanent hair colouring, to make sure that it lasted, because he did it because it had to last throughout the filming, and it took him about a week to 9 days to film the episode. So he had to make sure that it stayed as it was, so that he didn't have to top it up. So he used a permanent hair colouring, and as much as I would have liked it to have been a little bit brighter, I absolutely loved it, and I think it really suited him with purple hair. I mean, I wish that purple hair dye would take to my hair so well, because purple hair dye does not like me. It, even permanent, it washes out within like a few days. But yeah, I mean, I love the attention to detail in that episode. Actually, yeah, that's a good point, Jeff. We haven't really seen Badgie.
Since he ascended, yeah.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see Badgie.
Badgie.
But kind of going back a little bit to the beginning of the episode, one of the little things I wrote down when Rutherford was tinkering with his ocular implant, it just shoots off plasma. It sets Boimler's purple hair on fire, but Talin's just like it was like she just doesn't bat an eye.
Calm. You know, I mean, although I'm surprised that Boimler didn't scream. But now what? I'm a little bit confused about the ocular zappy thing.
That might be some foreshadowing on what's going to happen in tonight's episode.
Maybe. I mean, maybe all the quantum energy screwed up his ocular implant. I don't know.
That's a possibility too.
And you know him being an engineer, he's always tinkering with some sort of technology and stuff. It's like he's even messing with his own stuff. It's like, you do not know how to stop touching yourself. I mean, not in that way. Not in that way.
You meant it the way it came out.
No, I didn't mean it that way. I'm sorry. Uh, no. Uh, boy, oh boy. I know I'm gonna have to get me some sleep now because I tell you, it's been a long work week for me.
Hopefully, I'm not touching myself.
Oh, Dave.
At least
Oh,
not that way.
oh, here, I touch myself. You see? See?
Yeah, yeah. When I want to be surreptitious when I'm flipping some people off, and
That's how Eskimos masturbate. I know I'm so racist. I shouldn't say that. Excuse me, everybody. Oh, go ahead, Dave. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I lost it.
Oh, but the thing about that is this is one of the episodes to me that didn't feature the lower decks as we see, or I'm sorry, Katie, the lower decks or the upper decks.
Mm.
It features other characters. The whole episode. It started with the Cerritos, and then it ended with the Cerritos. But
Mhm.
the in between, it didn't have the Cerritos and stuff. It all took only Max and Amanda. You know, and it was pretty interesting to see that.
Yeah, and see what was some of the other notes I wrote on here. It's just the way William Boimler was dictating his captain's log, very reminiscent of Kirk from Star Trek Beyond. Just like he's just like I'm just like
He
yeah,
was so cynical too. The way
I
he came off.
noticed that. I noticed that. Sorry, I'm still a little bit broken. Thank you, Travis.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, I noticed that, like the the apathy of Kirk from Beyond. Yeah, I noticed that. Okay, now I'm still broken.
Oh. Well, Katie, I'm gonna be getting off here, so I'm gonna let you come back and everything. So because oh my goodness, this has been a great. This has been a really great episode.
it was, and there's still quite a bit to talk about too. So
Right. I mean, I can't wait. I'm gonna be able to. You said Monday is
we're going to talk the finale, yeah, because Wednesday's being the holiday.
Yep.
And
Okay.
so
And
again,
then
I won't be home at 6 o'clock Mountain Time. I was like, I'm going to be stuffing my face full of food
well, I'm gonna
and
be
birthday
here the
cake.
full time because I'm gonna have a lot to say because there's gonna be a lot for us to say because we don't know what's gonna happen in the series finale. We just speculate, but I think they're gonna really do it well for themselves. I think they came up with something for us fans to really appreciate the thank you for the how many 5 years of was it has it been 5 years,
Yeah, 5 seasons, so 5 years.
5 seasons, hell we've been on James Kirk, a 5 year mission in deep space. you know to seek out the new life and new civilization. But all in all, it's been great, guys, and stuff. But I have to get going and everything because I need to get myself settled and everything. I want to try to get a good night's sleep tonight and all. But I will be here Monday.
Yeah, are you
Sleep
going to
well, my
be
friend.
before you go, Travis? Well, are you working like Sunday, Monday?
Oh no, tomorrow's my last day. I'm gonna be off for the next eight 8 days of work week and stuff and everything else. But I will not
Oh,
return to work. I will not return to work until January the 2nd.
so you will you be attending the show on Sunday?
Of course,
Yeah,
of
it's the
course.
Christmas. It's the Christmas episode again.
And who's the special guest or anybody?
I don't think
Nobody,
they're
just us lot.
just us.
Okay, we get to just shoot the shoot, I guess. And thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that. You know, everybody take care in chat and everything else. I know you. I can't really see you guys and stuff, but you know, I mean, I hope everybody the best and you know have a safe and wonderful weekend.
Sounds good.
I love you, my darling.
Peace and love.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Me too. See, I'm gonna have to text Tyson.
What happens if I am discovering new wells to blow up? Well, Zach. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to send anything to help you in the mail. So, who the hell is Andrew Joseph?
One of his alter egos.
Ah. Honestly, I forgot it was Wednesday today, so you know.
Yeah, it's been kind of a weird week for me too. So a little bit.
Yeah,
but
I get that.
But yeah, it's a kind of dialing back to the beginning of the episode when Talin discovers that their William Boimler existed, and as far as the crew knew, died from a gas cloud or something like that. How they put it. And say, but just look at he exploded. What's that?
I thought that they knew that he didn't die because I swear that there's been some that's covered the fact that he didn't die and he joined Section 31.
Not that I've noticed. But yeah, because I mean, yeah, Boimler was under the impression that William was dead. And then Talin was like, there's another Boimler. So it's like, oh yeah, transporter accident, blah blah blah. But they were kind of saying there's a chance that he might still be alive. And then Kenny say Jack exploded and he's still here. And then we cut to Shax's just screaming nonsense at a pile of mashed potatoes.
Which, you know, I mean, by the looks of those mashed potatoes, they deserved it.
I heard the door.
Or am I the only other person other than Shax that shouts nonsense at my food?
I don't recall ever shouting at my food.
Really, seriously, when you've done something and you're like, right, this is going to be like my best mashed potato ever or my best pasta dish ever, and you like taste it and you've forgotten to put something in it, or it just doesn't taste quite right, and then you just look at the food and you shout at it because it's not your fault, it's the food's.
I've shouted at things out of my control, but I don't think food's been one of them.
Oh, I shout at my food all the time when it turns out that, you know, if it turns out the way that I didn't want it to, it's the food's fault, not mine.
No,
when
that's
I was
one case I get it.
And I nearly chopped the end of my finger off and there was blood all over. It was the sweet potato's fault, not mine.
Yeah, I've never done that, so.
Oh, sweet. This is why I don't cook anymore, because I'll be like, a few years ago, I was stood chopping vegetables and like very, very sharp knife, and I actually collapsed because of one of the conditions I suffer, and I was literally about 1.5 inches away from the knife stabbing me in the ribs because of how I landed and how the knife landed. So, you know, I shouted at the food then because it wasn't my fault, it was the food's. Honestly, I am. If people were to see me when I was like in on my own and like cooking and doing chores and things, they really would call the van with square wheels and send me off to the funny farm without hesitation. They really would. So I completely understand Shax's ranting and ravings at his mashed potato because it didn't look very appetizing to me.
Yeah, I just sent a text to Phil. I saw Phil in the chat earlier, just like, why aren't you here?
Yeah, I know, and I'm like, I am not amused with Tyson neither. And Tyson, if you watch this later, I am not
You
happy
got
that
off,
you haven't attended yet.
and you got off work early today, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. So how dare you spend time with other people and not us on a Wednesday? There you go. That's my scolding done.
Yes, yeah. But
Oh, for goodness sake!
what?
My
Well, at least it just did a flip, and it didn't flip you upside down or
yeah, when I was
sideways.
on a video call with Chris yesterday, well, this morning, last night, whenever, it zoomed me right in.
Mm.
Yeah, luckily it didn't flip me upside down as well, because I don't think I could deal with hanging upside down today.
Yeah, but it's kind of funny because that's one thing I was going to mention is say because Boimler making this thing, what are we going to get? A reverse Picard, a Borgified Kirk, a human Worf? Now that might have also been a possible, like, what's the word I'm thinking of?
Just say that again. I
Easter
kind
egg.
of zoned out for a second.
Well, no, just like some of the comments that William was saying that are they going to get like a reverse Picard, a Borgified Kirk? Say, Jeff, that there actually is an animated series episode from the 70s where there is a giant Spock. So, and they actually had the skeletal remains of that giant Spock in that collector episode when Kayshawn was first introduced.
Mm.
So they have done the giant Spock and saying so, but a Borgified Kirk, that's like totally off of beta canon
I
going on
wouldn't
there.
wish that on the collective. I really wouldn't. I mean, I know that, a lot of people don't like the Borg, but me, myself, and I absolutely love the Borg. And, I wouldn't wish that on the collective at all. So, yeah,
Okay, so yeah, Phil, he's got he's good. You're good, sir. That's but like I said, yeah, Tyson's been a no show. I don't know what's going on with that.
But no, a reverse Picard would be good. That'd be really good.
What would entail a reverse Picard? Is he from Jersey instead of France?
No, I think what he means is like a mirror universe Picard, like an evil Picard, so to speak. Now that'd be very interesting because I mean, like, it, like, whether it be live action or animated, I mean, it'd be perfect in live action. But if you think of a mirror universe Picard, I mean, Patrick Stewart would be able to pull that off. He really would. But it'd be very interesting to see morally grey or even morally black Picard. That's very enticing. I actually want that now. I actually want to see evil Picard. We've seen Borg Picard, we've seen Locutus, but seeing like the mirror universe Picard where he is like really evil, I'm very intrigued. See, as much as I don't like the mirror universe, I actually like some of the people better, like morally grey and evil, than I do in like the good universe kind of thing. I mean, it's like Tilly in Discovery. Holy hell!
Hmm.
Mirror Universe Tilly.
She's brutal.
Oh yeah. You know, I mean, and she's like extra hot with it. So you know, like Mirror Universe Tilly or Captain Killy. You know, I think like she's like my Trek wife.
Yeah.
But actually, speaking of Trek wives, the news about Becky Lynch joining the Starfleet Academy series, I could not believe that. I actually didn't know that she like even thought of going into acting. But yeah, I'm very intrigued. I mean, I've been wanting this Starfleet Academy series for a while now, even though a lot of fans have been a little bit nyeh about it. But the news that Becky Lynch is going to be like part of the bridge crew, I'm very intrigued.
Oh, that no, say no. It goes. What are you saying? The reverse Picard would be like Director Bullock from American Dad.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I didn't read the comment.
Well, see, he popped that second part in there a minute later, so just like I just like Bullock. When I think Bullock, I'm always think of Jim J. Bullock. So
I don't know who that is.
he played the bailiff on Night Court back in the 80s.
Oh, I've never seen that.
Or not? Am I thinking right? Yeah. But
So what do you think is going to happen in the final episode?
A lot of crazy stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean that's a given. It's lower decks, but like, do you think there's going to be any more cameos? And if
there's
so,
going to be at least one or two more cameos because
who do you think it would be, or who do you hope it would be?
Well, to kind of voice what was mentioned earlier, Cisco would be great, especially with the level of what's going to happen. To have a prophet step in to kind of like slow the roll with whatever's going
That's kind of where I was going with Cisco.
But there's Phil. Hello, sir.
There we go. I've been trying to get in and it's been sending me to the StreamYard page, and I have to kind of re-sign in on my mobile devices because I'm not at home. And it just kept sending me to the page, but it wouldn't let me into the chat. So it was being really weird, but I'm here now.
Yay. Yeah, Jeff brings up a good point. I mean, I'd like to see Jadzia show up too. That would be great to have her pop back in. But with the question would be if the symbiont has survived. Because I know the symbiont can survive for a time before being transferred to another body. So I guess it just depends on, well, if that quantum reality survives this. And
no, well, that's why they did what they did and sent it to the unshaven Boimler's reality, or basically all the shit. They did it to save the multiverse, and they only put one universe at risk to save the rest. So if any of the universes get destroyed, it's only going to be that one. Well, yeah, I mean, you know, Scotty survived for 75 years.
Something like that, yeah.
But yeah, just put it on a maintenance cycle. But you know, with Curzon being in it, and like I don't know. I was actually wondering if Ezri had make an appearance.
That would be an
to
interesting
maybe
twist.
help. Because, I mean, Ezri's a science officer.
Mm-hmm.
And she has got so much experience because of the lifetime's worth of Dax. So I'm actually wondering if there'll be a cameo from Nicole DeBoer.
That would be interesting.
I would very much like to see that, because even though I didn't like Ezri initially, I actually I forced myself. I really did force myself to watch the final season of DS9 like a couple of times. And I actually grew to like Ezri. Not for the reasons a lot of people grew to like her, but she made such an impact, and she did a hell of a lot in a short space of time. And I have a lot of respect for Ezri. So I'm actually wondering if because of the lifetime's worth of experience, because of the Dax symbiont, and like what's going on, I'm wondering if Ezri will be called on. I'm probably way off. I'm probably way off. Yeah. The only time I haven't been way off is Picard season 3 with my predictions. Other than that, I'm always like completely nowhere near anything. But what did you think of the episode, Phil?
Oh, I was taken completely back by it. It was not at all what I was expecting. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, I don't know what else I can say that sort of hasn't been said now already, but I was blown away by all the voice cameos, and I was listening. Is that their voice? Is that their voice? And I had to check the names at the end, and I had a couple of them. Was like had to double check and Google the names just to make sure that was the same person. I was like, oh damn, they did. They got everyone in this. So
yeah, and that was the one thing I didn't get a chance to mention earlier when I was watching the closing credits, because I mean it sounded like Jolene Blaylock, but it said just Jolene. I was just like, what?
yeah, that one was.
Yeah, apparently she dropped her last name some
Name?
years ago.
Okay.
But I thought that kind of took me off for a moment.
Yeah. But
Because I mean the way she delivered to Paul's lines is very, very reminiscent of how Gabrielle Ruiz has been doing to Lynn this season. So I was just like, is that maybe? I don't know.
I mean, it kind of a couple of things kind of came to mind watching it because of the whole the Harry KIMS.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I have to do is because it was oh God, what's his name? Did the voice?
Garrett Wong.
Garrett Wong. Thank you.
Or as Mono like to say, Harry Wang.
Harry Wang. Is he? I wonder if he's like we're not the only ones who kind of didn't like his character. I have a few friends of mine that were all Trekkies and Trekkers and just didn't like his character. And I have to wonder, like, is he aware of that fact and how he felt going in playing this character, being as obnoxious as he was this time, and to the point of it being his demise? And I thought he must be kind of aware of that fact of that he was not terribly liked as a character, but willing to actually play that part like that. So,
oh yeah, Zach's right, and there are things that I know, that Katie knows. I'm sure Zach knows as well. It's just I don't want to repeat it on here because I don't want to possibly get sued or anything.
okay.
But there are things.
Sorry, I missed all that. I do apologize. I had to step away. What might we get sued for? What do I know?
No, that things that Manu has shared about Garrett. I don't want. I
You
don't. I
see,
don't want.
you know,
I don't want to say anything more
oh
to
yeah, I
get
do. All
anybody in
I'm saying
trouble,
is that
but
this is one of the reasons why I'm glad to finally see Harry Kim dead.
or at least
I
one, at least a Harry Kim.
that was what I was saying, is that if he was aware of how unliked his character was in Voyager, and then be willing to come back to this show and play the part so obnoxiously to the point of it being his demise, like, is he aware and decided to do it just for fun anyways, or
It's a.
what,
It's a.
He probably was very aware.
Or at least
Uh,
somewhat cognizant.
Oh yeah, but he basically, Garrett is arrogant enough to be able to do that and pull that off.
Yeah.
So I mean, I've seen that podcast that he had with
Robert Duncan McNeil, Delta Flyers.
yeah,
Mhm.
just the way I watched a couple of episodes and I couldn't watch it anymore because of him. And I'm just like, oh my God, you self-righteous son of a bitch. And I mean, I could say a hell of a lot worse about him, but I'm just like, it must be like a kind of Shatner thing that his personality rubbed off onto his character, because I mean, Harry was always pretty self-righteous, and the way that like one of the Harrys were, like the promoted Harry,
Right.
that the fact that he turned out to be such a prick, that didn't surprise me. I knew that at least one of them would be a complete and utter twat. And it was so nice to see him blow up. I mean, all right, the rest of him survived, but the fact that I got to see a Harry Kim blow up, it was just, I was saying earlier that I actually was clapping and bouncing up and down on my bed. I was so happy. I was overjoyed, and like, especially with everything else that happened in the episode as well, like with the cameos and Garrick and Bashia's relationship, and just I mean, to be quite honest, oh yeah, I loved his Tuvix question as well. But I mean, even though Boimler still needs to shave, even his beard didn't spoil the episode this time.
At least it was a full proper beard. It wasn't this scraggly half-grown thing that was like 3 lines on the face that looked terrible.
I prefer just the shadow of stubble to like what the Section 31 Boimler as. I much prefer that or in clean shaven than a beard. But with everything that happened in the episode, I was just like, this can't get any better, and I was even tolerating all the Harry Kims, and then Lieutenant Kim blew up, and I'm just like, oh my God, it was like a proper like overly gay cheer, I put the cheers at a pride parade to shame.
And is that the Harry Kim from the Voyager universe that we watched?
Not 100% sure on that one.
Yeah.
No, because that Harry would have been part of the facial scruff Boimler timeline. So yeah, it was the Lieutenant Kim. He was from another reality,
right?
But it would be interesting though to see what Harry in the Prime Universe is doing. Just as long as they don't bring him back, because I mean,
yeah,
that'd just be that'd spoil the season finale.
Well, of course, there was another name drop during the episode that made me giggle.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, say Dax, so say the Quappins is like, at least they're not drinking our bones.
I know. I actually, when he said that, I actually said out loud, "Whoopsie," you know, and I'm just like, oh, for
As did
goodness
I.
sake, woman.
Yeah.
Honestly, I had so many like vocal reactions to this episode. And it's the first time, really. I mean, don't get me wrong, during this season, I have laughed the odd few times. And like I cheered when I saw Data, and you know, but this episode by far is definitely my favorite out of all the seasons of Lower Decks. Because it was just beautiful to see all of these characters come together from different parts of the timeline, from different universes. And you know, the Bashir hologram got made in one universe, you know, after all the trouble in Dr. Bashir, I presume, you know. So that was nice to see. And
too bad it was a hologram, though. That was
Yeah, that was interesting. But
it was interesting, but that was also kind of like paying homage to like the future Doctor in Voyager Endgame when he married a flesh and blood person.
Yeah,
I thought that was quite nice. But it was kind of like reminiscent of that. My strange brain took me back to that. Even though it was like an altered future. I suppose another timeline, but you know, it was nice to finally see them two get it together, because they make a beautiful couple. I'm sorry, but again, I don't care what anyone says. You know, Bashir and Garrick all the way.
Garashir, I believe it's like how some of the social medias are naming the two of them.
Oh yeah, you know, and it was nice because you know that their relationship was like more or less the same, but just like on an intimate level, and that like just a little like banter between them, the little arguments, even though it was more on a domestic level, it still captured that Garrick Bashir dynamic that we got used to in DS9. And again, that was lovely that they hadn't that they did this in such a nice way that it didn't like corrupt in any way the original relationship that they had.
Oh, I think I just realized why Tyson's not here tonight. Isn't today his birthday? Say, Phil, you probably wouldn't know, but Katie,
right.
I think that today's his birthday.
Even more so that he should be here so I could sing happy birthday to him.
Yeah.
Kind of. Did he mention any? Yeah, he mentioned something last week that he might not be. Oh God, I'm drawing. I've had such an insane week, and so much has gone on that I can't keep track of everything. I know he mentioned something last week, and now I can't remember what it was he said.
I completely forgot, and I feel absolutely awful. And shit that's been going on in my life recently.
Right, says he thinks it is.
Yeah, it is. I mean, there are some people on his Facebook that are saying happy birthday, so it's like now I feel bad by giving him shit for not being here.
It hasn't come up as a notification on.
Well, if he watches
my,
on repeat, happy
Facebook.
birthday.
Yeah, so happy birthday, Tyson. Yes, Sagittarius.
But no, it hasn't come up as a notification from.
Yeah, I didn't get notification either, but I went directly to his wall, and there are people saying happy birthday.
Damn it! I'm gonna have to create something on my photo lab for him and get it bloody posted. I am like Tyson. If you watch this back, which I hope you bloody do, I am so sorry that I forgot your birthday, my sweet. I love you, and I hope you have had a fantastic day.
But hey, at least I figured it out. So yay!
Yeah, I'm glad you remembered. I completely forgot, and I know now that you said that, he mentioned something about that last week. So yeah,
And I just like with
Yeah.
Katie losing track of the days of the week. It's just yeah, today's the 18th. Duh.
Do you know what? I've like all day I've known it was the 18th. But for some reason, I completely forgot that it was that it was Wednesday today. For some reason, I thought it was Tuesday. I nearly missed the show. I nearly didn't get to watch Lower Decks before the show. But
oh, actually, no. Hold on a second.
Wish I had time to watch it again. It's been such a busy week. I'm not sure I can. Molly Plus, but she won't be able to keep it. And I think it finishes on the 22nd, but I could only sign in on my computer. Now it's my aunt's. I don't think I can sign into it here, and I'm not sure I should. But it means I won't be able to. See, I'm not home until the 28th, so I won't be able to see the last episode until the 28th. So I might, if I can't see it, I won't be able to join in.
Well, no, it airs tonight.
Tonight, right? Yeah, but right, and I won't be able to see it if I can't get into Paramount Plus. So if I can't, I don't know. I don't want to join in next week and sit through spoilers. I won't be able to see it until after the 28th.
Yeah, I'm going to have to avoid social media more so than I have been. And it's always the same with season finales. There's always so much more hype about it. And I'm wondering if I should watch it in the morning because it'll air at like 8 a.m. here.
Yeah.
And I'm actually wondering if I should watch it just to get it over with, because avoiding social media is a headache for me when it comes to new Trek. Because I do not abide by spoilers. I don't even like the fact I know that there's Klingons in the next episode. That's how much I hate spoilers.
I didn't even know that. That's all right.
But
I just know the title of the last episode. That's all.
The New Next Generation.
The New Next Generation or something like that. Which, to be honest, that could indicate as to who might be cameoing in it. In all honesty, I mean, it could have. I might be right. Worf might be in it.
I have this TV viewing app where you can put in your TV shows that you're watching, and you can check them off as you watch them to keep track of your episodes, and it usually gives a little bit of a brief synopsis of episodes coming up. And so I had a look at the one for next week, and the only thing it says is nothing at all except some fun stuff happens for the crew, and that was it.
So
there was like nothing.
Yeah, the season finale where lots of wild stuff happens.
That's it. That was it.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I know, and that there's Klingons in it, or at least two, you know. But I couldn't avoid that, unfortunately. But usually when I'm scrolling through social media, which is usually on my Instagram and sometimes Facebook, but anything that comes up with Trek, as soon as I see anything animated, I don't care what it is, I scroll past it in case it's a spoiler for Lower Decks. And I don't even like seeing images. I know it sounds really extreme, but
no, I don't blame you. A lot of things can spoil, like even a few images can spoil the shit out of things. I can't tell you how many times things have been spoiled. Just even things like when I was watching Game of Thrones at the time, and how many, it's so much shit would go up online that as much as I tried to avoid it, I would see things. I'm like, oh my God.
See,
So
I've only
yeah,
seen about 2.5 seasons of that. I haven't. I mean, I've got all the seasons on DVD, but I haven't seen all of that. I've only seen like 1.5 seasons because I started getting a little bit bored of it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm the same with books, and I don't like read the full blurb on the back of it.
Mm.
And like the synopsis online, I don't. I like as little as possible where you get the gist of the story and it's like something slightly ominous, but it doesn't actually give anything away.
But yeah, trailers are bad for that. Trailers will give
something.
so much away.
Yeah, I'd say talking about this reminds me when years ago, I'd say it was for Descent, the 6th season finale of Next Generation, where I read in a tabloid at where I had my hair cut saying that Data goes evil. And I was like, are you freaking high? Say Data wouldn't go evil, he wouldn't go bad, but sure enough, even though Lore was manipulating him, he did go evil at the finale. The Sung Tzu will destroy the Federation.
But yeah, I mean, I do you know what? Again, like images, like I was saying, like again, I don't like that on books either. And sometimes, like the front cover of a book can give too much away for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know it. I think when I was younger, I wanted to know what was going to happen in the next episode so much. When I found out, and I'm just like, oh my God, this is going to happen. When I came to watch that episode, or especially if I wasn't able to watch that episode or that movie or whatever, I was kind of sometimes I was a little bit disappointed by the episode because it got so much hype. And the same with movies. And now, if there's a new movie coming out, it's like, I mean, I think when Spider-Man No Way Home came out, I refused to watch the trailer for it. But unfortunately, I wasn't able to avoid, because it was so big, I wasn't able to avoid the announcement of the cameos. And I thought that was going to really spoil it for me, but because I didn't, and now I only watched that movie like at some point this year, but I managed to avoid so many spoilers. Now, don't get me wrong, there was a few, like with the cameos, and I won't say just in case anybody hasn't seen it, but like with the cameos that were in it, and it was kind of evident what was going to happen. But when I watched it finally, and I watched the uncut version as well, so it was, the extended edition, I was not disappointed at all. Don't get me wrong, it tugged at my heartstrings, and I am hoping for a 4th one, which apparently that is in the works, but nobody could understand how I've managed to avoid so many spoilers. And it seems like an art that I've almost perfected. And this is why I'm so adamant of not seeing any form of trailers. I don't want to see images, because it makes it all the more exciting. I mean, the last film trailer that I saw was for Thor: Love and Thunder. And going by that trailer, it looked absolutely brilliant. It looked so funny. For the first time, I did not finish a Marvel movie. because it was a load of bollocks. It really was. Like, anything good about it was in the trailer. And this is another thing I don't like as well, especially if it's like a really bad movie or it turned out not as good as they thought, or even like with a series. They tend to put everything good in the trailer to draw people in.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why people are so disappointed, because it's got so much hype. I shared the film trailer for Section 31. I did not watch it. I went onto it and it started playing, and I stopped it from playing until I got the link copied so that I could share it. And I didn't watch it at all. I even had the sound turned off. That's how strict I am with myself.
Sorry.
I've seen the odd few comments on certain posts.
That's the hard part, is the comments, because people will put things right in titles. They'll put it in capitals, right in blurbs, just so that even your eye starts to catch something. It's just enough to,
You see, no spoilers have been given from the trailer. This is why I ran the risk of reading some of the comments. But I didn't read any spoilers for the trailer. But one thing that I saw repeated in the comments was that, and now there was like a couple of thousand comments on this post, and almost all the comments that I read were basically saying that it looked really crap and not what they thought it would be, and not what Section 31 is. But then there's other people, like a few other people was saying how good it looks and like action packed and things like that. And I'm just like, well, we shall see. Because I'm really looking forward to seeing it. But so far, I've managed to avoid even spoilers for the trailer.
So that's good.
I'm hoping that I can carry on avoiding it, because as soon as it comes out, I will watch it. And I'll be the same when Starfleet Academy finally comes out.
Yeah. Especially
with the latest announcement of the cast.
I did see half the trailer for Section 31. I didn't see the whole thing, but I'm it was just sort of all over the place. So I have no idea what it's about. And asked me what was in the trailer, what I saw of the trailer. I don't even remember, except for one or two characters. But I don't remember anything else about the trailer. So, which is fine, because like you, I'd rather just kind of go into it blindly.
Well, yeah, I mean, as far as I'm aware, because I mean, like, I don't know anything about the movie apart from that Michelle Yeoh's in it. And it links back to Discovery, but from what I can gather, now this isn't something I've heard or seen or whatever, but from what I can gather is, and now my thoughts on it is that it could possibly be the start of Section 31.
Mm-hmm.
Like the very beginning of Section 31. I could be very wrong. Like I said earlier, apart from the final season of Picard, I'm always wrong in my predictions. But
same.
That's kind of like my idea of what this movie is like, and it's like the start of Section 31 and like how it came into being. And that could be why a lot of people have said from the trailer that, like, this is not Section 31. This is not what Section 31 is about. And maybe that's why.
You got to remember, though, saying that Section 31 was actually introduced in Enterprise when they were trying to recruit Reed into the organization. Because, say, Section 31 was part of the original Federation Charter.
Okay.
Yeah, but Michelle Yeoh's character was sent back in time.
But saying the the movie is set between like it's like the early 24th century, so after Star Trek 6, but before the Enterprise C was launched. So it's kind of somewhere in that window.
Oh. Oh, I thought it was way before that. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Rachel Garrett is one of the characters in the movie before she became captain of the Enterprise C.
Hmm. Okay.
Okay, now I know way more about it than I want to.
Sorry. But I mean, it's something that they've mentioned like a lot. That it was, but
Yeah, and I haven't
especially like I
avoided
said
it.
when they mentioned Rachel Garrett as one of the characters in the movie, it's like, okay.
Okay. I have to. Yeah, there was so much. From what I saw, there was so much throughout that. Like I said, I don't even remember it now, but there was just so much imagery thrown out, and I just was like, I have no
There,
idea what this means. So it was like,
well, there is one brief little clip in there that they have some splaining to do.
Hmm.
And I don't want to spoil it for Katie. So
Okay, yeah. I'll wait. I'll wait till it comes out and I'll watch it. I won't probably
I'll
see
just
anything else.
5 weeks ish,
Yeah, yeah. It's not long.
Yeah, what is it? 24th of January.
something like that. Yeah.
Oh, all right, all right.
Yeah. I'm not very good with dates and days. I'm just like, today ends in Y.
Yeah.
But we
But
kind of already.
I think it's gonna be good. And you know,
I think.
I like action packed.
Well, hopefully it will be a success, because if it's a success, that will strengthen the case on the possibility of making a Lower Decks movie.
Yeah.
I will reserve judgment. Well, not judgment, but I will reserve opinion on like another network picking it up or doing a movie like after I've watched the finale, because it's like I said earlier, if it ends nice and rounded, whether it's open for more or not, which it probably will be, but if it ends nice and rounded, I don't think it should be messed with. You know, I mean, it sometimes when fans demand that something be carried on, the fans regret it when it actually happens. And the only time I think that anything should be carried on is if it ended on a cliffhanger and then something should be done to round it off. I think that's the way to go with it. Or if it ended complete and utter shit like Enterprise, you know, but you know, it. Well, yeah, this is why I haven't watched SGU, because I've been told that it ends on a cliffhanger, and I refuse to watch it. Because I always like. I'm usually like really behind watching things because I like everything to be available for me to just watch. But I haven't watched Stargate Universe, and I refuse to because it ends on a cliffhanger. And I'm kind of a bit like Sheldon Cooper in that sense. I need that closure. I'm not as bad as him, but almost.
Yeah.
But
that's discouraged me from watching some things. What's the sci-fi series? And it looks great. It's long since ended. But from what I understand, it ended on a cliffhanger, and it never got resolved. What's that?
The Expanse?
No. What was the one with the
Mirror?
puppets? It had a mix of puppets and human and real people, but the aliens.
Space 3000? No,
not that. there was a lot of the aliens were puppets. It was like a serious sci-fi, kind of a serious sci-fi show. A little bit humor, but it was oh, I'm drawing a blank on it. Somebody in the chat help me out, know what I'm talking about. A lot of the aliens were all a lot of puppet work in it. But
Farscape?
oh, Farscape, that was it.
Well, they did do the Peacekeeper Wars, a couple of direct like movies
Yes,
that
I
kind of
haven't
closed that
seen
out.
that yet. I haven't
Okay.
seen the Peacekeeper Wars 1 and 2. I haven't seen that. I've seen all of Farscape, but I haven't watched Peacekeeper Wars yet, and I need to watch it. Thank you for reminding me. But yeah, I only actually watched Farscape the beginning of this year.
I've seen a couple of episodes and I enjoyed them, and I'm like, I have to go back and watch this whole series now. But for I heard that it didn't really end, that it ended open ended. So
I'm about 99.9% sure that they were Henson
Jim
creations.
Henson, yes, it was Henson Studios that did the puppetry for it. Yes,
but yeah, I mean, it's like I've always been in two minds as to whether to watch Farscape or not. But then I was told that Claudia Black was in it, and that sold it for me because I absolutely adore Claudia Black. She is a brilliant actress. And I mean, I love her in Stargate SG-1 as Vala Maldoran. And I watched it and I fell in love with it.
Yeah, the fact that Ben Browder was.
I find it really. Pardon?
And of course, Ben Browder was the lead in Farscape too. So
yeah, I actually find it really strange because they were in Farscape together, Claudia Black and Ben Browder, and when Ben Browder went into Stargate SG-1, the first words that Vala Maldoran spoke to him, I just laughed so freaking much when I realized, because she said something like, I'm sure I'd remember you. Or I can't remember her exact words, but it was so funny considering that they did so many series of Farscape and like so many years of that, and it was like really nice to see. No, please, no. They can fucking leave X-Files alone. I draw the line at that. I draw the line. They can do what they like with Star Wars, because, it's shit anyway. But, apart from the original 4 movies, but, you get to, like, movie 5 and 6, and it really starts to go downhill. And the only other good thing that's ever come out of Star Wars is Grogu. I'm sorry, but it's true. Star Wars is shit. But Disney can do what the hell they like with that.
X-Files. Rebooting it?
No, they are not allowed. They are not allowed. But I mean, when they revived it, I didn't really enjoy it all that much. Don't get me wrong, it was okay, but I'm sorry, nothing can beat the original X-Files. And when you start messing around with shit like that, you're in for a world of trouble. Because, I mean, they're even doing a Xena Warrior Princess movie or something, and Gal Gadot is Xena. And I'm just like, I'm sorry, no, but Lucy Lawless is Xena.
Yeah.
You cannot change that. And then they're redoing Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and I think Zendaya is playing Buffy or something, and I'm like, I'm sorry, no, but Sarah Michelle Gellar is Buffy.
You've got to stop doing this.
When they redid Charmed, holy hell, that was a mess. I saw like 3 episodes of it, and I'm just like, this is an insult to the original. Now, it's one thing if they do like offshoots of things and try that out, but when they try to complete, like they've done with Star Trek, you know, there's various different series, you know, that's fine. Try it
expanding
out,
the universe, yeah.
see how it is. But when they try and completely redo a series, no. I'm sorry, but no. I mean, on the odd occasion, it's wiped out, very luckily.
There's a reason these shows were so popular, is because when these shows hit the TV, they gained an audience, and they gained an audience because they were original, fun ideas.
Yeah.
And it seems like they can't do that anymore. It's like they have to keep trying to they're trying to either capture
Reinvent the wheel.
nostalgia. They're trying to find that Gen X or whatever audience that grew up on that, and try to tap into nostalgia instead of coming up with something new that the next generation of people can enjoy, some new adventure, new characters, new ideas. But
I mean,
to keep, oh, it's just
if they
frustrating.
were to want to like carry on the legacy of Buffy, but focus on, even if Sarah Michelle Gellar wasn't willing to do it, you know, although there has been rumors that she would be willing, if they wanted to carry on from like where Buffy left off and focus on, like, you know, Slayers Across the World Open, like, you know, activating and things like that, and training and all that lot. If they wanted to carry that legacy on, fair dues, give it a try. But completely redoing it, you know, I mean, I'm a huge fan of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and that is only because of the series. Now, in that sense, rebooting something actually worked, because the original movie of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, it is one of the most awful movies I have ever seen. And I kind of sort of liked it when I was a kid, but I didn't at the same time. And it was only by complete accident when I was, about 15, I couldn't sleep one night, which was a rarity back then, believe it or not. I couldn't sleep one night, and I went downstairs and I turned the TV on, and I saw that there was an episode of Lois and Clark New Adventures of Superman with Dean Cain and Terry Hatcher, and directly after that, there was Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and I'm like, this isn't Buffy. But I carried on watching it because I was intrigued, and I'm like, oh my God, that's not a vampire. And, you know, I'm just like, what the hell is going on? Because I didn't realize it was a TV series. I just assumed it was the movie. And because I couldn't sleep, I thought, well, you know, it's boring enough that it'll probably bore me to sleep. And then I saw that, and it was like the first episode of season 1 as well. And I'm just like, this is absolutely amazing. And that is like one time in history that, you know, like rebooting something, like redoing it, has actually worked. But they only did, was it 11 or 12 episodes for season 1, just in case it didn't take off. And it became a hit straight away. And it was one of the best things that Joss Whedon ever did. But no, when something is established like that and it has such a following, yes, extending it, carrying on the legacy like Star Trek did, absolutely. Give it a try. You know, maybe it'll be a flop, maybe it'll be a success. But
the way I can see it be a success is if, like, the new Buffy is the daughter of Buffy. As saying, so you got the established canon saying that Buffy's at that age where she's like too old to be a vampire slayer, so hand the wooden stake to her daughter.
So the only thing that it could you see that the only way that could possibly work is, I mean, to be honest, I can't see Buffy ever having a kid. because of who she loves. But she could be in it as a mentor, but apparently this is completely redoing it, and Zendaya is going to be Buffy. And I'm just like, no. I mean, sometimes, like I say, things can work out. Like Strange New Worlds, they plan on completely going into like the Kirk Spock era and completely redoing TOS. Now that I am very intrigued by, and like recanonizing what happened in TOS, making it less contradictory, and smoothing out the rougher edges. In that sense, yes, I am completely on board with that, because TOS is just a contradiction from one fucking episode to the next. I'm sorry, but it is. And it's a complete load of bull. But I have a healthy respect for it. I do. Like I've said before, it was the start of a legacy. But if they can correct a hell of a lot in Strange New Worlds and go into the, like, Kirk, Spock, Scotty, Chekhov, all that, like Sulu and Uhura, if they, like, I mean, Uhura's already in it, and Scotty's just come into it, and Spock's already in it. So, there's already that establishment there to be able to carry this on, and, like, Kirk's come into it now. So, in that sense, the way that they're planning on doing it or hoping to do it, I think that that'd be a really good thing. And people like me may appreciate that era more with corrections.
We still got a few years between what Strange New Worlds is doing and what with the first season of TOS. So
I know, but it's Strange New Worlds could really be something huge. I mean, it already is, in my opinion. I absolutely adore it. But it could be something so freaking huge if they do it right. And so far, they are doing things correctly, in my opinion. And if they carry on going down this road, the Strange New Worlds could be the biggest Star Trek series so far. It has that potential, especially if they're going to try to rewrite the wrongs of TOS, because that is a lot of my problem with TOS, is the contradictions. And it's like, oh, yes, this happened a year ago. And it's like, actually, no, it didn't happen like that. You're getting it completely backwards. This, and this happened. So why are you saying that, and that happened? And it all needs correcting and redoing.
Sorry, I just got a nasty freaking itch in the ear right now.
A lot of people disagree with me because so many people, and I'm sorry to all you Trek fans out there, but I came to Trek like in my early teens, and I hated Star Trek because of TOS, and it had nothing to do with the crap special effects or anything like that. It had everything to do with William Shatner being an arrogant crap actor who overacted even the slightest sentence, and the contradicting storylines as to what happened a year ago and last month, and it can be written better. It can. And I am sorry to all the Trek fans out there. I do have a healthy respect for TOS, but it needs to be rewritten. I know a lot of Trek fans hate me because of it, but some people are just so loyal, blindly loyal, may I add, to the beginning of the legacy that they can't see past the end of their nose. because they are so loyal to that beginning, they can't see the wrongs in it and the contradictions and the arrogance of Shatner. And, you know, it came through in his character, because I've read the character profile of James T. Kerr. William Shatner did not pull that off at all, because he knew best. Whereas Chris Pine, he got the character profile a hell of a lot more spot on. He got just the right amount of arrogance and the playboy and the caring friend and the troublemaker, the guy with impulse control. You know, he got a really good healthy balance of that. Shatner didn't. It was just all arrogance and a complete fuck up, basically. And so, you know, I understand that that's where Trek started, and it created a beautiful legacy, but it needs rewriting. And those out there that are loyal for the sake of being loyal because it's the beginning of a legacy need to start seeing past the end of their nose with it and actually seeing it for what it is, and look at it objectively and see that it does need rewriting to correct a lot of mistakes. Don't get me wrong, like different other Trek series and movies have done that, have corrected a lot, but now it needs to be fully corrected and rewritten. I mean, you know, the way they've rewritten the Gorn, you know, I mean, those baby Gorns, those hatchlings, oh my God, they're so adorable. But yeah, so, you know, there's so much that's been corrected already, but there are still a few things that do need to be corrected in the Prime timeline. It's been done in the Kelvin timeline, but now it needs to be done in the Prime timeline. And I'm just hoping that Paul Wesley is up to the job, because I don't like him anyway. But I have a feeling that the reasons why I don't like him could be what makes him a really good Prime Kirk.
Is Strange New Worlds, is that supposed to be the Prime timeline, or is it supposed to be? Is it? Okay. Because I know there's already some things that don't quite fit, but as you said, they could just, you know, they can kind of rewrite it. I mean, you know, being older and you know, the group of friends that I hung out with, we were all Trekkies back in the day in college, and that's when Next Generation started. It was actually before I went to college, but it was just sort of now picking up and becoming a thing. So we only had original series, the movies, and Next Generation, and we kind of knew, like we knew that the canon was all over the place. We knew what kind of person Shatner was and why he kind of why it was the series became what it did, and why it was all over the place, and how difficult he was on the set, and how he manipulated a lot of the storyline so that he would be the center character, and all of that. We all kind of knew that from the get-go. But I think also because we didn't hold on to it as this was the be all and end all, and this was canon, because it didn't from various episodes didn't click and connect, and they would say something where the next season say something else. It would kind of completely contradict what was in the previous. Yeah, so we knew that was.
But the reason why canon seemed to be all over the place, especially when TNG started, is because they were trying to correct a lot of things to try and smooth out certain contradictions that were.
Some of it you just can't. Like, some of it is just, it was the 60s, and they were just more interested in individual episodes and hoping people wouldn't remember that one little thing that was said way back. And it's like, oh my God, there's fans that are obsessed with this show, and now, oh my God.
This is what TNG tried to correct a lot of it,
yes,
like solidifying some things and changing other things, and then like other series along the way, things that have been mentioned in like Voyager and DS9. it's all helping to correct the mistakes of TOS, and this is why Strange New Worlds needs to carry on and go like from Pike to Kirk. And in being Kirk being captain of the Enterprise, and basically rewriting TOS to fully canonize that period of time. That's what needs to be done.
But you had Kirk, and I'm sure there's had to be explanations for this, but you had, I think it was the very last episode of TOS, I think it was, where there was a woman that possessed Kirk's
the turnabout intruder.
Yeah, was that the one where Kirk says that there's a reason why women can't be captains in Starfleet? And it's like, did they not think far? Like, I mean, surely they must not have realized that it's only been 40 years since that show, or sorry, more than that. It's been 50 plus years since that was written. That now, that women now are more independent and can have leadership roles, and of course a woman can be captain of a starship. So the fact that he said that, it still just kind of blows my mind that so how do you get past that in writing? Because obviously they've established that women have been captains even before Kirk. So is that just his own opinion coming through?
Oh no, that'll be Shatner's own freaking misogynistic opinion coming through, because he is quite a misogynistic bastard. And that's being nice and being nice for the sake of the show. But I mean, this is why I think it'd be so good to get all the captains together in some form of like animated series. I mean, could you imagine Kirk and Janeway?
Yeah. Oh.
Hey.
Have you seen the interview between those two already? Like,
because I mean, Janeway handles Q so beautifully.
Yeah.
And whenever there's ever been like any form of misogyny or anything, she has been right on point. And she has like proved everybody wrong, like all the misogynistic pigs wrong. And it's just like, I would love to see Kirk and Janeway battle it out, because I know that Janeway would freaking walk all over him.
She'll stomp him in the ground.
Oh God, yeah.
But
he's all talk and no fucking balls.
I'm having too much fun with that.
Yeah, if he had balls, that's the sound he'd make when they got cut off.
But we're coming up on 2 hours. Is there any other pressing things on the episode itself?
Yeah. I am gonna have to watch it again, because I saw it before I left for my holiday, and I've a lot of it's gone out of my head. I have to watch those episodes twice to really take everything in. So I'm definitely gonna have to watch that. Hopefully, maybe I can still access Paramount Plus if I should check what Mala said here. If it's the 20, see if I can access it from here.
Should be able to.
I
got it on my TV. I got it on my laptop. I got it on my cell phone.
Mala was kind enough to give me access to her account. So, and it was on my desktop that I signed into it. So I don't want to. Yeah, so I'll see if I can, but if I can't, I'll just have to. I might not be able to kind of partake in.
Oh, I can always just poke at her, just say, "Hey, do you know how Phil can get it where he's at right now?" And
I'll just, you know what? I know my aunt has a what do you call it? A smart TV, and I'll just go on. I'll jump onto the Paramount Plus, and if I can't, I can't. I'm not going to make a fuss about it, because I think she said December 22nd is going to be the last date. So I'll see if I can. And if not, I won't be able to kind of partake in next week's episode. So.
Oh, but you could
have your.
It's the 18th, so you still, and it's going to be tomorrow. So I mean, you can still watch it. You might just have to write copious notes so he can remember.
Yeah, if I can watch it, I'll definitely join in. But if I can't, I don't want, and I'm not able to see the final episode this morning, or tomorrow morning rather. Then I don't want any spoilers if I can't. Like I won't be able to see it for a week. I'm not home until the 28th,
Yeah.
so I won't be able to
Yeah.
see it because there are other ways I can see it when I get back home. But but I just, as for, are you doing another? I guess you are going to do a finale episode on it.
Yeah, we're going to
That's
do
too
it
bad I
on
missed that,
on
man.
Monday the 23rd.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
I should probably.
Yeah. I'd be ashamed to miss that. So,
Well, hopefully you can
but
get to see
get
it.
it. Yeah. But yeah, otherwise though, yeah, but I'd like to rewatch the last episode and then watch the new one. Maybe I'll try and do that tonight.
Yeah, I'm really
see if
looking
I can-
forward to the season
Yeah,
finale.
me too.
And I
I
do
know it's
apologize
gonna-
that I'm sat here rubbing my head, but I'm extremely light sensitive with my migraine right now.
Oh, no worries. Oh, I know how awful that is.
And I don't know where my sunglasses are, so I can't even do that. And I can't sit here in the dark while I'm on camera, so as much as I would love to.
Where's my-
I just realized I should probably put a crawl on the bottom, just like, so we're going to be here on Monday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8
Yeah.
Eastern.
I'm just gonna
Yes,
plug my
definitely.
iPad and be right back. 1 second.
All right.
Right here.
But no, I am very much looking forward to the season finale. I'm hoping that I can watch it tomorrow if my migraine allows it.
Yeah, I have a sneaking suspicion that it's going to be on early again for the finale. I don't know if I'm going to be up late enough for it. We'll just have to wait and see what my body thinks. But like right now,
Yeah.
I am. It's only 8 o'clock here, and I'm exhausted.
Well, it's just gone 3 a.m. here, and I'm starting to not be able to see because of my migraine, so I might actually get some sleep.
Go lie down. Yeah, close your eyes for a bit.
Yeah.
I don't get them that often, but when I do get them, oh, just kill me. Like they are so utterly painful, and you can't stand light. You have to turn everything off.
Mm.
And
I've had a permanent migraine
coughing.
since September 2011.
Oh God.
Yeah. See, I just got
I
a
can't
new
imagine.
lamp today from Amazon delivered.
Oh, nice.
So I got to get this set up. It's got a couple of USB ports to plug
that's
in, and
nice.
it's also
like
got
it.
regular little sockets there too.
Yeah,
So
I need one of those. Yeah.
it's a
My
18
lamp
bucks.
is a spirit tree lamp.
So I'll send you
those
the
are-
link.
Those
I'll
are nice too.
I'll let you know what I think of
Oh,
this.
sure. Yeah. I've got
can
so many
send you the
lamps,
link.
but there's a few of them I've got to get rid of. There's a few I can't. Just too many in my house.
No, the two favorite lamps in my house
not
is
very
my
good.
Himalayan salt lamp and my spirit tree lamp. That's over
Right.
there. That's actually quite pretty.
That sound good. Yeah.
I've got a nice little
I already
bedside
broke
lamp.
it.
Was my
Yay.
dad. Oh no.
No, it's just part of the thing on the bottom. It's nothing critical, but no, just be a little more gentle with things. Oops.
No.
Well, I think that Dave breaking his brand new lamp is a good way to end the show.
All right.
Yeah, night and sweet dreams to everyone, and we shall see you all on Monday, the 23rd, for the season finale of Lower Decks.
Peace out, everybody.
Good night, all.
Toodle pips.